James and Emily had always been the couple everyone admired. Married for 6 years, they built a life together in a quiet suburban neighborhood, filled with weekend barbecues, movie nights, and plans for a future that seemed unshakable. James worked as a civil engineer, his days structured around blueprints and deadlines, while Emily thrived in her role as a marketing coordinator at a mid-sized tech firm. Their routines were predictable, their trust unwavering, until the cracks began to form. It started innocently enough. Emily's company announced a merger, bringing in new leadership and a wave of ambitious projects. She was assigned to a team led by Daniel Hartman, a charismatic divisional manager transferred from the company's overseas branch. Daniel was everything James wasn't: spontaneous, bold, and unapologetically charming. He praised Emily's creativity in meetings, lingered by her desk to discuss strategies, and casually invited her to after-work drinks with the team. At first, James didn't mind. He encouraged Emily to network, proud of her dedication. But as weeks passed, her late nights became more frequent, her excuses vaguer. "Another brainstorming session," she'd say, texting James at 8 p.m. with a string of apologetic emojis. "Don't wait up." James tried to shrug it off. He trusted her. But trust couldn't silence the nagging doubt when he noticed changes. The new perfume she wore, the way she scrolled through her phone with a faint smile, locking the screen the moment he entered the room. One evening, while Emily showered, her phone buzzed on the nightstand. A notification flashed. "Daniel, can't stop thinking about today." James froze, his throat tight. When Emily returned, towel drying her hair, he casually asked, "Who's Daniel?" "My boss," she replied too quickly. "Why?" "No reason." The air between them thickened. Work became Emily's refuge. Daniel's attention was intoxicating, a contrast to James's quiet predictability. They'd stay late under the guise of deadlines, the office empty save for the hum of computers and the tension neither dared to name. One night, Daniel leaned over her desk to adjust a presentation slide, his hand brushing hers. "You're incredible, you know that," he murmured. Emily's pulse raced. She laughed it off, but the seed was planted. When Daniel invited her to a client dinner, she told James it was mandatory. Over steak and red wine, the conversation strayed from work. Daniel spoke of his divorce, his loneliness, his admiration for her resilience. "I wish I'd met someone like you years ago," he said, his foot grazing hers beneath the table. Emily didn't pull away. James sensed the distance growing. He tried to reconnect, surprising her with concert tickets, cooking her favorite meals. But Emily was distracted, their kisses mechanical. One Saturday, while she was running errands, he drove past her office. Her car wasn't there. He called her. "Hey, where are you?" he asked, trying to sound casual. "At the mall," she replied, background noise muffling her voice. "Just picking up something for Mom's birthday." But James recognized the faint echo of a hotel lobby fountain in the background, the same one he passed earlier. His hand shook as he parked outside the Riverside Suites, spotting her car in the lot. He waited, nausea rising, until she emerged an hour later, hair disheveled, Daniel's hand lingering on her waist. A confrontation was inevitable. That night, Emily entered the quiet house. James was sitting at the kitchen table, the photo outside the hotel deliberately lying in front of him. "Explain," he said, his voice breaking. Her composure shattered. Tears streamed down her face as she confessed. The stolen moments, the guilt, the thrill she couldn't resist. "It didn't mean anything," she pleaded. "I love you." But love couldn't unbreak what was shattered. James moved out the next day, renting a sparse apartment where the silence echoed louder than any argument. Emily begged for another chance, showing up at his door with promises and apologies. But the betrayal had carved a chasm too deep. Daniel, meanwhile, vanished, transferred to another branch, his flirtations redirected to a new hire. Emily's reputation at work crumbled. Colleagues whispered. Clients questioned her reliability. A misplaced file led to a disastrous campaign, and her termination letter arrived with cold finality. Months later, James sat in a coffee shop, staring at divorce papers, signed and sealed. Emily's sister had called weeks prior, mentioning her move to another city, a fresh start. He wondered if she ever regretted it. The fleeting rush that cost them everything. Outside, rain blurred the streets. a reflection of lives once intertwined now washed away. Some choices, he thought, are like stones thrown into water. The ripples stretch far beyond the splash. Cheating Secrets podcast like me.